Since the 2021 United Kingdom, UK, was facing an energy crisis caused by a combination of factors including high gas prices, low wind speeds, and a lack of available supply. The crisis resulted in the closure of several gas-fired power plants, which left the country with a shortage of energy supply. To address the energy crisis, the UK government took several measures, including offering financial support to energy companies to prevent them from going bankrupt and to maintain the energy supply, encouraging households and businesses to conserve energy and reduce their energy usage through various measures, such as turning down thermostats, using energy-efficient appliances, and switching off unnecessary lights and electronics. Exploring alternative energy sources, such as nuclear power and renewable energy, to reduce the country's dependence on fossil fuels and gas. Importing gas from other countries to meet the shortfall in domestic supply. However, it is important to note that the energy landscape can change rapidly, and the situation in 2023 may be different than it was in 2021. The United Kingdom generates electricity from a variety of sources, including fossil fuels. Coal, natural gas, and oil are still used to generate electricity in the UK, although their use has been declining due to concerns about carbon emissions and climate change. Nuclear power. The UK has several nuclear power plants that generate electricity using nuclear fission. These plants produce around 20% of the country's electricity. Renewable energy. The UK has made significant investments in renewable energy sources such as wind, solar, hydro, and biomass. Wind power is the largest source of renewable energy in the UK, and the country is one of the world's largest producers of offshore wind energy. Imports. The UK also imports electricity from other countries, mainly through interconnectors with France, the Netherlands, and Ireland. The UK's energy mix is changing rapidly, with a significant shift away from fossil fuels and towards renewable energy sources. The government has set a target of net zero carbon emissions by 2050, and achieving this goal will require a major transformation of the country's energy system. The capacity of nuclear power plants in the UK can be increased, but it is a complex process that requires careful planning and investment. There are currently 15 nuclear reactors in operation across 8 sites in the UK, which together provide around 20% of the country's electricity. These reactors have an expected lifetime of around 40 years, after which they will need to be decommissioned and replaced. To increase the capacity of nuclear power in the UK, new reactors can be built at existing sites or at new locations. However, building new nuclear power plants is a complex and expensive process that requires significant investment and careful planning. In addition, there are challenges associated with finding suitable locations for new reactors, obtaining necessary permits and licenses, and ensuring public acceptance and safety. In recent years, the UK government has been supportive of new nuclear power projects, such as the Hinkley Point C project in Somerset, which is currently under construction and is expected to provide around 7% of the UK's electricity when it comes online. However, there are also concerns about the cost and safety of nuclear power, as well as the challenge of managing nuclear waste. Overall, while it is possible to increase the capacity of nuclear power in the UK, it is a complex and controversial issue that requires careful consideration of a range of economic, environmental, and safety factors. The factors that can impact the time frame for injecting more energy and decreasing energy prices in the UK include supply and demand of energy. The availability of energy supply and the demand for energy are key factors that can affect energy prices. If the supply of energy is tight, due to factors such as low wind speeds or disrupted gas supplies, then energy prices may rise until the supply is restored. Investment in energy infrastructure. The level of investment in energy infrastructure, such as renewable energy projects and energy storage facilities, can impact the availability and cost of energy. Increased investment in renewable energy sources can help to reduce the reliance on fossil fuels and increase energy security in the long term. Government policy and regulation. Government policy and regulation can have a significant impact on the energy market, including the cost and availability of energy. Policies such as subsidies for renewable energy, carbon pricing, and energy efficiency standards can influence the types of energy sources used and the cost of energy for consumers. Global energy prices. The UK is part of a global energy market, and energy prices can be influenced by global supply and demand factors, such as geopolitical tensions and changes in oil and gas production. Changes in global energy prices can impact the cost of energy in the UK. Overall, The time frame for injecting more energy and decreasing energy prices in the UK will depend on the interplay of these and other factors, which can be complex and difficult to predict. 1/1. The war in Ukraine has had some impact on UK energy supplies, particularly in terms of natural gas imports. Ukraine is an important transit country for Russian gas exports to Europe, and disruptions to gas flows through Ukraine can impact gas supplies to countries in the region, including the UK. In 2014, during the early stages of the conflict in Ukraine, there were concerns about the potential impact on gas supplies to Europe, as Russia had previously cut off gas supplies to Ukraine during a dispute over pricing. However, these concerns were largely mitigated by measures such as increased gas storage, alternative pipeline routes, and increased liquefied natural gas (LNG) imports. Despite this, there have been some instances of gas supply disruptions in Europe during the conflict, including to some countries in the Balkans and Eastern Europe. These disruptions have generally been short-lived and have not had a significant impact on energy prices in the UK. Overall, while the war in Ukraine has had some impact on UK energy supplies, particularly in terms of natural gas imports, the impact has been limited and has not resulted in significant energy price increases or shortages.